Alright, so my idea for this flight is I'm going to fly from Athens, Greece, past the Acropolis. I'm going to try to see the Parthenon in the pre-dawn, early morning light. And then I'm going to turn back around and I'm going to fly out over the Aegean. I'm going to do some island hopping. Okay, I'm going to have to reset the time a little bit because I did want it to be just before dawn rather than completely dark. Admittedly. Okay, so probably best to set like 5:50 in the morning rather than 4:50 in the morning. Okay. Right, I selected live weather, that's right. And it's because I selected live weather that it's just not that time yet. Okay, got it. Okay. Alright, yeah, I'll do 5:49. It looks just phenomenal. You can even see the lights past the hill. So we're currently facing roughly northwest, and that'll take us into the center of the city, I think. So let's get this underway. And throw that forward. Get this out of the way. Ugh. Weird, it's throwing me to the right this time rather than to the left. I wonder if that's like wind. Because typically the left is because the engine has a tendency to steer towards the left. Because of, I don't know the technical term, like gyroscopic precession or something. I should know the term, I'm an engineer. But, yeah, that was embarrassing. It has a tendency to turn towards the left. That's the important information. I actually need to check my VFR map. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we're... I think we're going the right way. Don't want to do that. I'm gonna slow the power down quite a bit. I think the Parthenon is in the center of the city, so it should be over here. I want to stay low enough that you can really get a proper look at it when I pass it. But I don't want to be too low that I hit something or screw up. Because the closer you are to the ground, the less margin of error you've got. So it becomes kind of difficult. Especially when it's a little choppy here. Yeah, okay. So I think this is it, right over here, but I'm not 100%. Not 100% sure. I've never been to Athens before, unfortunately. Let's see, maybe I can get a little closer to that. Altitude of roughly 900 feet currently, and gaining, probably because my power is still too high. But I'd rather be gaining than losing, I think. Well, maybe not. Losing is fine as long as I have just enough clearance. I'm fairly confident this is it. You can see the hillside there. A little bit of turbulence. It is a little bit dark right now. Maybe a little darker than I was hoping. Yep, that's it. Okay. There it is. You can see the Parthenon with the columns. Oh, that is incredible. Holy sheboygan. I'm gonna pause it just so that I can adjust the camera a little bit here. Maybe I should go outside. Hold on. External. It's not very smart, is it? I want to look at the Parthenon. Alright, there we go. That's pretty good. Hopefully I don't immediately die when I unpause it. Oh yeah, look at that right there. Alright, throttle up, nose a little bit up. Let's get back in the cockpit and make sure we don't crash. It's kind of important. Alright, looks pretty good. Nose should be a little higher. About 1,000 feet off the ground, so I'm going to turn back around. Probably won't go super close to the Parthenon this time. And then I'll head over the Aegean Sea. The plan is to fly all the way to Bodrum, Turkey, and do some island hopping along the way. But I have brought along unlimited fuel, so I am cheating a little bit there. But I figure as long as I'm, hitting all those islands, I do have the fuel anyway, and I'll call it quits. It is admittedly a lot of landings to get right in a row, though, so if I do crash, which would be a bummer, I will probably just start over, but not all the way from start. I'll start from wherever I crashed. Alright, let's see if we can't get another view here. Isn't that just phenomenal? There we go. I turned on the labeling there just because it is a point of interest and I wanted to make sure that I was able to find it. But that is fantastic. Oh, I'm so happy with that. I love all the city lights, the detail. Probably shouldn't whistle into the mic, but I can't help myself. That is just gorgeous. Alright. Back to the flying part. There's the airport off to the left. Right, okay. So I'm going to fly along the coast here, basically parallel to the airport first. That gets me kind of lined up with my overall trajectory. I am not entirely sure if that's precisely correct. I'm not going to be looking at my display because in the plane that I fly for real, we don't have a digital display like that. We've got like a smaller one that basically shows other planes relative to you, but it doesn't show mapping of any kind. Well, maybe it does now because it has probably ADS-B now, but before it didn't. And so I'm just going to use that, and then I'm going to use my my map to figure out where I'm going to go. I probably should just use a VFR map, but I don't have one on hand for Greece. Now, I guess I could look it up, and I might actually while I'm, you know, when I have time while I'm flying. But for the time being, I'm just using Google Maps on a second computer to help me out. Not necessarily going to be able to recognize everything. It might be worthwhile to turn on my assistants to show me where airports are, because I may not recognize the islands, but I'm not going to do that for now. If I need it, I'll turn it on, but for now I'm going to consider that cheating. VFR. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just sort of lining up landmarks and following those reference points. So right now I'm following the coast, and if I draw a line out from the coast to that island up ahead, that should be Kythnos or Serifos. I'm not actually sure which one, but when I get closer I should be able to tell from the geography the shape of the islands and whatnot. So yeah, we'll see how it works. And while I do have a minute here, I will look. Let's see. VFR map. A lot of the VFR maps just cover the US though, which is kind of unfortunate. Yeah, so like this one that I'm looking at, VFRmap.com, only has the United States. I want Greece. Little off course here. I'll just turn back. Okay, I'll leave it at that. See, this is all flight planning that should occur before the flight. Doing it in the air is a terrible idea. But, for the purpose of having a little bit of fun and just flying, flying by the seat of my pants. There you go, aviation pun number 1. If anyone knows where to find like worldwide VFR maps, that would be super helpful. I don't want to become one of those like YouTube people, but post it in the comments below. I mean, this is just a map of Greece that I have now. It's not a VFR map. So the islands off to my left are like, so I think this one here is Patroklos, if I'm reading the map right. And then this is like a peninsula, but there's like another one right in here. And that one's called Acida, or something like that. You'll have to pardon my pronunciation. I really am trying my best. Occasionally glancing up at my screen and hoping I don't get lost. website where you can buy VFR maps, but I don't want to do that. I want to look at them. This is like where ForeFlight would really help. But I don't have ForeFlight. Maybe just Google Images will have something. Not really in the resolution I need, though. IFR charts would still be nice. Should be IFR chart 11 for Euro. I think, well, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let me just make sure I'm on course. I think I'm turning a little bit here. Camera, external. What am I looking at? Oh god, I gotta figure this out. Okay. You know, I do have a VFR map here. I should have been using this. This is more helpful. Hold on. Where am I? There's my solution. Okay, so I'm totally off course. Of course. Okay. Cockpit view. I was gonna say, because the land ahead just looks like the mainland again. I hadn't realized I was so far wrong. Alright, so there you go. That is, first off, why you need a proper map. And second off, why you don't want to be researching all this information while you're flying. And thirdly, even this VFR map is kind of cheating because it kind of shows my location on it. But there's not a whole lot I feel like I can do about that. Maybe there's a way to turn that off. But... Alright, so I had this plan to fly along the coast, right? Hold on. And the coast is over here. So I don't know how I got this far off. Okay, so I should be through here, so I still have to turn a little bit left. Let's pull up that map again. Right, so that island here is this island here. And I'm flying through, and I was going to land on an airport here, I think. Well, if there's an... Apparently there's no airport there. There should be an airport there. Okay, well, in a curious tale of pushing things off for the future, I'm going to wait. Let's see what I can do about that later. Alright, so, okay. So I got to go between here and here, and aim for, I think, this island over here, rather than this one. So I may have to get up and go get some water. Oop. I'll leave you with that view for a minute. I'm going to go get some water. Hopefully everything remains stable. Hopefully. Paused the flight, and I distinctively did not do that. I am getting a little off course again, though. See, turning. Alright. I guess I've got a long enough flight anyway that it's worth the risk. Occurred to me that a lot of these airports might just be helipads. Well, we'll see. We'll be able to see it from the sky. Oh, turning again. And missing my my cue. I needed to be going this way. Alright, well, I guess we'll pass just to the side of they could probably upgrade the simulation a little bit by having waves, but that would be like mega ultra high def graphics, you know? It's kind of unreasonable to expect that. Very helpful to have the airport or the airplane icon there. Seriously, flying without the map is so hard. And there's a ton of recognizable objects like islands out here. There's the windmill island again. You know what? That would have helped if I'd been paying attention to my heading compass. I had just been looking at the islands for reference. Damn it. Such an idiot. That would have made a difference. Okay, let's go external again. I think this is the same windmill island that we already passed. I sort of did a little squiggle because I was going past it the wrong way. Oh, heading is changing again. Hold on. I was looking at this number up here. Guess I'll keep it due east for now. See, I'm not going due east. Much easier to do this inside the cockpit as well. That's the other thing. House of the Rising Sun. This is pretty cool. another thing to go off of. If I know I have to go east, right, just fly at the sun. See, that would have been another better, smarter indication, you know? So I guess that's another thing that this is teaching me. This is something that is applicable for real life, which is, you know, basic navigation in terms of route finding and whatnot. You know, what can you rely on? What can't you? Or rather, just give yourself a lot of different tools so that you're not going to get like locked into confirmation bias like I was doing before. I was like, oh, that island looks familiar. That's got to be that island. Oh, and then just getting led astray. So I guess it's this one. Are gonna just fast forward on this part. But I get to watch the sunrise. It's like watching paint dry, except that it's absolutely, magnificently, phenomenally beautiful. That's all I've got to say about that. And I do have to occasionally make sure I stay on course, because I am apparently notoriously bad at this. But it is hard, so. I know that going outside the plane will get me lost more quickly. I'm tempted to do it anyway, though. Just because it is so cool. Having the map is helpful, but I do know to just go towards the sun, so. So the island off to this side should be Kia, and the one I'm flying over should be Kithnos, and the one I'm going to is Peros, I think. Another instrument that I could have been looking at is the compass up here. You know, because that tells me where I'm going as well. Just so many tools. Oh yeah, and the map, but I said I wasn't going to be using that. sitting way up on the seat. Typically it looks like this. Alright. Very fancy. Not gonna turn on. Okay, it's fine. See it turning, but I can't control it from the showcase for some reason, so. But I can control it from external, just not well. Because at the very least it gives me some of the dials that I need. Look, it even has some of the camera effects. That's pretty cool. Unnecessary, but cool. Gotta be like some sort of airstrip somewhere on Kithnos here. Like, there's gotta be, right? This place is way out here. Maybe it's one of these islands that's like only accessible by like ship or helicopter. If I'm going a little bit north of east, that's fine, I think. I've been doing that intentionally. I don't want to go southeast, though. Although, doing that a little bit as well isn't the end of the world. I think if I'm 1 degree off, what that translates to is over 60 nautical miles, I'll have only drifted 1 mile sideways. However, it's when you're more than 1 degree off that stuff goes really south pretty quick. Wow. This is gorgeous and very impressive. Yeah, I just want to look out the window, see if I see anything. All these like farmsteads and things. Whoa, stop turning like that. Okay. External's better. Just to see the magnificent scope of this. At least for now. Kind of looks like the Arma 3 island, although I think that one's based off of like Limnos instead. Maybe I'll have to fly there at some point too. Wow. That is just incredible. Of course, gotta pay attention to that. Maybe this right here is the helicopter landing part. It's not a bad guess, actually. That could totally be what that is. To have this issue, not on this computer, but on the other one, where if I hit the same key like 5 or more times, it would crash the program, and Windows sticky keys would come up and be like, "Oh, do you want to like assign a special value to this key?" And I'm like, "No." And no matter what I would do, I would like try to kill this program or turn it off or prevent it from starting. It would never work. And so I had this like policy that I'd have to like never hit the same key more than 5 times in a row, right? Or more than 4 times in a row, because otherwise the game would just crash. I mean, the game would crash for any number of different reasons as well. It didn't have a graphics card, so that sort of killed this game for it. But that applied to every game. It's a problem. Anyway, this is great. A lot worse than flying backwards, so I won't do this for very long, but that is great. Just notice my flaps are still kind of in place. Adjust it from that. Yeah. Turn back towards the sun here. Drink some water. Pull up the map. Let's see, what does this runway look like? Okay, so I should probably approach from the north. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if there's like a hill here or something. That's admittedly a bit of a problem. So that's overturning, oversteering. is Syros. This one. Syros. Bodrum. Whoa, turbulence. What was that? That hit me out of nowhere. That was not me touching the rudder or anything. That was like legitimate turbulence. It hit me like a wall. That was actually kind of scary. That was kind of scary. Yeah, if that happened to me in this little plane, that would be nuts. I think I would hold it together, but that was a serious jolt right there. Okay, so my thought is go around the north side of this island and then swing around the back over the bay, basically, and then come in for landing. That's my plan. I could also, alternatively, probably just go over the hills in the middle of the island, but that might not give me enough time to drop in altitude. Those two islands up ahead and to my left are Tinos and Andros, I think. I might have gotten the names wrong, though. Let's look at Google Earth. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Tinos and... It actually doesn't say. Who knows what that other one is? Okay. Maybe it'll say in the map. Tinos and... That's what I was thinking was Andros, but I'm not sure. That's my plan. Basically just go up north and then around. Left at 5:50, so I've been in the air for 40 minutes. What'd I do for love? starting my descent. You can see the altimeter dial here is coming down. My airspeed is going up because I'm actually losing altitude, so I'm going to have to pull my nose up. If I decrease my power but keep the same attitude, I should just lose altitude and not gain speed. So I should have kept the nose up there. I'll pull up that map again just because it is helpful. Okay, so plan is sort of cut the peninsula here and then come around, following the coastline. Somehow I got up to like 6,000 feet. Hold on, I really have to come down further. I may actually just cut the power entirely, which won't give me enough, but then I'll be able to boost back. So I'm just at idle. I haven't like cut the engine off, but that'll help me come down. I don't want to have the airspeed drop by too much, though. That is admittedly true. Oh, did I ever address the flaps thing? No. Okay. I'm just going to put the flaps back up right now. I don't want to have those out yet. Alright, so basically the way that I'm reading the altimeter dial is the small dial indicates the thousands of feet, and the large dial that spins rather fast, that's hundreds of feet. So this would be 5,300 feet right there, and falling. And of course I need to get to sea level by the time I land, so that's sort of the calculation that's happening. Right, so I actually haven't crossed that peninsula yet. I should probably turn back and cross that first. So this is basically due south, it looks like, so I'll come off of that coastline, cross the bay and land. Hopefully I'll be able to see the runway by then. There it is, right there. Okay, yeah, there's some hills here that I'm thankfully over the top of. Alright, runway in sight, that's good news. Oh, turbulence. You see that, right? I'm not doing that. Current altitude 3,600, so that's good. I'm still coming down. I am falling rather rapidly, but that's fine. I'll go to like 1,000 and then steady out, I think. Wow, that turbulence is legit. Also terrifying. I'm glad I pulled power to idle, because otherwise there'd really just be no chance on this. Oh, yeah, the runway is just right there. I may not make that, actually. Alright, I actually am going to put out the flaps. Push the nose down because the flaps... Oh, that's the rudder! Oh, I hate the rudder. See how it shakes everything and, like, kills all the trim that I had? It's really irritating. Trust me, it's just very irritating. It also reduces airspeed, which should allow me to drop more quickly, which which is good, because I need to drop. Alright, I feel like I'm in a much better position now, but I am still dropping pretty quick. Just passing through 2,000 feet right now. And it looks like the airport is above sea level by a substantial margin. And so one of the things is that on a legit map, I would be able to figure out what the airfield's altitude is, and thus be able to predict and line up for that. But right now I'm literally just going by eye. I am actually going to add a little bit of power here, I think. So you can hear the engine coming back a little bit. That's just because I wanna make sure that I make it up there. I'd also have the runway length, so I would know where to, like, how much room for error I have, which would be really nice. All of this sort of stuff is stuff I'm gonna include in future videos as I get more detailed in my planning and pre-flight preparations. But for the next few days, I'm just going to have fun with it, take a look around, and just fly by the seat of my pants. Same joke as before. Right, okay, so I'm coming down. I'm a little bit off. These last corrections here are just terrifying, by the way. It's so hard to get this right. So I've gone completely to idle. Maybe a little too late. I don't have to worry about a gear. It's a Cessna 172, so the gear is just always down. Coming up a little bit short. Just terrifying. Oh, okay, there it is. I'm fine. Oh, that's a hard landing. Oh! Yeah, that would have not been good. Oh my god. Okay, well, you know what? We lived. We may have damaged the landing gear a little bit right there. But we are alive. This is very important. Right there, I basically hit the wrong key right as we went. Instead of hitting the key that basically allows my, instead of, how do I say this? I should have, and then like the instant before landing, I should have used the left. I should have used the ailerons to pull the right wing up a little bit because it was dipping down. And instead of that, I basically hit the brake pad, I think. So yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna pull forward a little bit here. Alright, so this should be, what was it, Syros? Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Alright, so I cut the power, brakes on, here we are. Okay, so, refuel, unload any passengers. It's a four-seater and I'm one of the seats, so maybe one guy gets off. It's a charter plane. Maybe one guy just runs to the bathroom real quick. We get somebody out to look at the landing gear, and he says that it's fine. And I look at the landing gear, and I decide to risk it. Everybody gets snacks. We spend the day on Syros, and we, I don't know, have a whole bunch of fun. Alright, now I have to figure out how to turn this thing around. So I'm just engaging the throttle here, and I'm holding down one of the brake pads. So I'm hoping this turns it. Yep. Without hitting the other plane that I know is like right there. Ah, that's too close. That is too close. I just did like $1 million worth of damage. Well, That's why we have insurance, folks. Okay, so this is the runway. The runway is clear because there's no other planes in the sky. And do we have enough space to take off? I'm actually just gonna pull all the way to the end, and then I'll take off. I should have probably gone to the other end, admittedly. But it'll take longer to fix than it will to actually just turn around once I'm in the air, so... What a game! Wow, alright. Oh, alright, let's turn around. Alright, and then, throttle. And then let's go. There's windmills up on that hill, and like right on my approach. I wonder if I accidentally went through the windmill. Fighting it! Fighting it! I think 55 is the takeoff speed, but it took off earlier than that, so that's weird. Okay, let's not hit the tree. Oh, we're gonna fucking hit the tree, aren't we? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, that is terrifying. My controls are lagging to hell. It's the keyboard. We're gonna die, folks. We are gonna die. Maybe we won't die. We really should have died, though. We're still stalling. Airspeed is so slow. Power should still be up at... Oh, you know what? It's the fucking flaps. Okay. I think that's it. Just have to keep the plane stable. Taking off with flaps is weird because it slows you down. Okay, so that was incredibly dangerous, incredibly stupid. The controls were super laggy. I had a pretty low frame rate, I think. But I think the biggest problem was that the flaps were all the way down. So, this is something that I will incorporate in future videos that I'm being really careless about right now, and probably teaching myself the wrong lessons, which is, this is the importance of having a checklist, that before you take off, you basically go through a list of all the things that you're supposed to check to make sure are down, or are off, or are on, or whatever you need to do. So basically, I guess I'm learning a lot of lessons right now, because I know what the actual procedures are, and I know what I'm skipping, and I'm learning why you really shouldn't skip them ever, not for anything. So, yeah. So I think the next time I do a flight, after this like island hopping thing, I'm gonna look in my flight book and just figure out what the checklists are for the Cessna 172, and make sure that I go through those and get in the habit of going through those. This may be too much to incorporate all at once, but I think also having a little bit more of flight planning would be really helpful. And having the VFR maps ready, maybe even something that I drag onto screen if necessary. So yeah, having the maps, having planning, that's all good. Another thing is I set this to basically be clear skies, but that's not always going to be the case. So another thing that goes into pre-flight planning is making sure that weather is looking good and whatnot. And that's something that I guess I can control in-game by just presetting the weather. But once the live weather works, or if I just do more live flights, then I'll actually have to do a little bit of research on the weather before I do a flight, which is something I am interested in doing and want to get in the habit of, because I think that's something that this flight simulator is going to be great at training. So I know I'm being really loosey-goosey about the way I'm doing things right now, in a really dangerous way, but I'm just trying to have a little bit of fun and look around a little bit. But really, I want to be a little bit more serious about this simulator going forward and treat it like the simulator that I really want it to be. Now my rudder pedals and my yoke haven't arrived yet, and won't arrive for like another month and a half or something, because there's a little bit of backlog because of high demand. But even before those arrive, I want to start incorporating some of the real procedures in. I think I'm going to do the procedures and all that before I start incorporating real ATC and other planes, because that just adds a whole new level of difficulty that I am not ready for just yet. So let's pull up the VFR map. I'm still flying that way. My plan was to go to this airport next. Paros. This is one of the luxuries of the flight simulator, which is that ultimately you're not flying for real, right? So you're able to take more risks than you otherwise would, but really it allows you to learn things in steps. So I can slowly introduce things. Now, in real flight school, this happens as well, right? Like, in my first flight, I was basically just being taught how to use the rudder pedals and the ailerons and the throttle in order to control my attitude and elevation. And basically, the flight instructor handled everything else. Although I think I did the takeoff as well. So I did takeoff, but he was helping me with keeping the nose of the plane aligned on the runway. And keeping the nose aligned after takeoff, so, applying the right amount of right rudder and whatnot. So basically what I'm saying, point being, is that even in real life, the flight instructor does help make things easier for you by allowing you to learn things in steps, and only sort of passing off certain responsibilities once they're comfortable that you are capable of that task. At least in my experience. And I'm hoping that I take Flight Simulator here seriously enough and do things in the right way, but that I introduce them in steps. And right now, basically all I've done is I'm just becoming more familiar with the in-flight instrumentation, all the dials in front of me, and the basic navigation of using maps, and identifying landmarks as I fly to use as reference. Clearly, I need more practice at that, even so. But yeah, that's basically the plan. Should be fun. Hopefully I learn a lot. Let's see, what's this runway look like? I might be able to come in there. It's probably better to come around, do like a downwind, and then a base, and then a final, like that. Oh, off course. Oh boy. But yeah, so basically I'm acknowledging that I'm doing things wrong right now, and that by, not listening to ATC and not having done flight preparedness prior to the flight, and not having checklists with me, that I am being reckless at best. So it's just good to acknowledge that. I am having a ton of fun though. And I do suck at landings, so I do have to practice that too. Alright, so there's like a gap between the two islands, and it'll be on the left-hand island, right? Altitude is 4,150, so that'll probably want to come down. I actually never pulled my power back. I should do that. I am not in line for this airport. I think it's over here. I don't know 100% yet. I could be pretty close to lined up for it already. It's really hard to tell. I'm not sure if it's like this or like this. From the map, I think it's the second one. But I don't see that yet. So I am a bit off course, so I have to go over here maybe, and then in. That seems to suggest that it's behind that hill though, which I don't like. Another thing, you would know that your approach is a certain way because your pre-flight planning would tell you, you know, how to prepare for an approach. You wouldn't have to figure it out on the go. This is phenomenally beautiful, though. I mean, not that that excuses anything, but it is cool. I guess one way to do it would be to sort of do a low pass over the airport, just so that I know where it is, and am able to figure out sort of the heading that I need to be at in order to line up for it. I don't have to line, you know, I don't have to line up on the first try. Just sort of low pass over it and then come back. So this is Paros, I think. Paros and Anti-Paros. Of course the other one's called Anti-Paros. Airport. Okay. Maybe it's here, like on the little bumpy thing that sticks out. It seems to indicate further down. looking. Is it this thing over here? Okay, that would mean I would come around and then land, basically. That's way further back than I thought. Airspeed is a little high. Yeah, that is the airport. Okay, yeah, so I'll fly out over the sea a little bit, come back around, and then land. Seems like a pretty short runway. Another thing you'd know, runway length. These would all be things that you'd have, like, thought about in advance, written down, you know. Okay, so here's another thing that the flight simulator will help you with, right? Is pre-flight planning, right? Like, if you're gonna fly somewhere in real life, one thing that you could theoretically do is fly there in the simulator first. You know, following all the same procedures and whatnot that you would do in real life. Looking for landmarks, figuring out where airports are so that you don't get confused when the time actually comes. That's actually a cool use. I hadn't thought of that before. Just give you a sweet view. Look, you do get a couple of the waves here. I don't know why I didn't see that before. Oh, sick. It's like all these little villas and things. Oh, gotta, make sure I don't lose control of the plane while I'm looking around. It is just too beautiful, though. Look at that, man. Wow. Wouldn't that be nice to just live on one of these islands? Sure, it has its downsides, too, though. You can't go anywhere else easily. Kind of stuck unless you fly off or boat yourself off. I'm a bit low. Just passing through 2,000 feet. It's not that bad. Alright, so my plan is to sweep back around and then come into land. And yet again, I don't see the airport itself. Is it here? Is it there? I think it might be there. Okay, hold on. Right. Time to get back into the pilot seat. Really be helpful to see the runway right now. Here? I like legitimately still can't see it. I think it might be behind this spar. Alright, well. Oh, no! No! See, that's the keyboard. It lagged the controls. See, I wouldn't have done that with a yoke, right? Like, I would be able to more finely and precisely tune exactly where I want to go. This is that was a keyboard control thing where it, like, I just tapped once and it just slammed it. Yeah, so. Definitely overshot the airport because of that. I still don't see the airport, though. It could be that little thing. Oh, I see a light. I see a light. Okay. So I see the light here. So maybe this is the airport. I may have to do another pass of this. Adding power. That's another yoke issue. This is a very beautiful little village, town on Paros. Yeah, okay, so that is the strip right there. It looks small. You have to be very precise, which I am, not good at when I'm on my keyboard here. I'm actually not good at it ever, but, I'll use the excuse while I have it. I'm coming in too low. I get the distinct sense. Thrust. Sitting a little higher in my seat. Alright, go around. Boosting thrust. Stabilizing the plane. Yeah, okay, so this is a freaky landing. It's super short, right? It's angled, and the terrain doesn't help. And I couldn't see over my dashboard. Okay, so I think we should be at full thrust now. Turn to avoid the hills. challenging. Alright, well, I do know where it is now, which is helpful. Oh, you see the shadow of my plane down on the left. Alright, I guess that's a good thing to do, right? Like, if you don't make the landing, you know you're not going to make it, go around. There's no harm in it. Especially when you have unlimited fuel. I wonder how unlimited fuel affects your landing mass. Probably not well. So there it is. Okay. Instead of just flying all the way back out again, what I really should do is use this as like a downwind and line myself up. I don't know why I wasn't doing that before. I need access to the dials. Look. Alright, so when this is like back here, I'm gonna wait a little bit further so that I give myself time to line up. But I'll oh, that doesn't help. I'll do my base turn. Oh, speed. Yeah, I don't want to drop below 60 knots. I really probably shouldn't drop below 70. Passing through 1,000 feet right now, which is not good. I need the altitude. Alright, I'm gonna give myself a bit more power. And then I'm not gonna crash the plane. That's the sticky, like, laggy keys again. I'm gonna turn just a little north of east. Let's try this again. Look. I can't see the airport. Fuck. Where the fuck is it? I know it's like right in here. I just fucking passed it. I legitimately cannot see the airport. I know you're probably screaming at me because you see it, but I legitimately have no fucking clue. But I do know that I have to make my turn, and that crashing into the island over there isn't going to help. I was definitely going the wrong way. Give myself a bit more thrust. Turn back over. And hopefully I'll see it, but I've almost certainly overshot it, because I spent time looking. Which will mean I'm basically coming in from almost exactly the same angle as before. That glare, though. So where's the airport? I legitimately do not see it. Maybe it's over here. I need to pull up my VFR map. I'm gonna head back this way just because I know that I overshot for sure. Oh, there it is. I see it. Okay. I fucking see it. Okay. I actually probably will sit a little higher in my seat. Just to help me out here. Yeah, this ain't good, folks. This is like maybe a go-around also. Thankfully, I have unlimited fuel. Ugh. Okay. I'm kind of too low. Maybe. This is weird. What a weird place to land. Laggy controls. Fuck. Oh shit. I cut the power. We're gonna die. Ah! My landings are terrible. Man. We almost got ourselves fucked right there. In fact, we did get ourselves fucked right there, but thankfully, the game actually does have the ability for you to like overstress your landing gear, and it does calculate it, and I haven't turned that off. So, I mean, I guess this means that I didn't just snap our landing gear off. It does, however, mean that I probably damaged our landing gear, and probably a lot of other things. So, we're gonna get fixes, you know? Maybe wait a week, spend a lot of money, get the repairs that we need. What time is it? Oh my god, it's late. Are we even halfway? We kind of are halfway. Maybe I'll just fly direct to Bodrum from here, rather than doing island hopping. Or maybe I'll stay up late and do island hopping. Decision point here. I'm gonna call it here. I'm gonna call this part 1, and I'll do a part 2 another time. I'll do this. I'll start from the same spot. I'll start from Paros here, and I'll fly to Bodrum, and I'll probably do the island hopping technique that I did on the way here. Hopefully with less suicidal landings and less suicidal landing. Sorry, I mean less suicidal like sticky keyboard gear things. I don't know if I'll have the updated procedures and whatnot by then, but it is something I want to do, so, well, I mean, we'll see. But this was fun, and I do hope you enjoyed the scenery on the way, as well as my comical attempts not to kill myself upon landing, so that's always what you want. Let's see. Let's see if I can pull the camera outside as well. Yeah, there you go. Parked. I actually don't know the key to completely shut down the engine, so it's just idling. Well, I guess that's where I'm going to call it. Thanks for watching.